Hello and welcome to Drew Manchu's Comic Book Reviews. I'm your host, Drew Manchu, and today we're going to be taking a look at Marauders number 2. Let's see what these mutant pirates are up to. Spinning out of Jonathan Hickman's House of X and Powers of 10, we see Krakoa, the mutant island, becoming a refuge for all mutants. Mutants around the world are flocking to the island for safety, security, and to be part of this society. Jerry Duggan and Matteo Lolli's Marauders focuses on the Hellfire Trading Company, whose job it is to get the Krakoan pharmaceuticals to the friendly nations and to get the mutants out of the unfriendly nations. Right now they're being led by the White Queen Emma Frost, the Black King Sebastian Shaw, and the third governing seat remains open. The book opens with Emma having a psychic conversation with her clone daughters, the Stepford Cuckoos. Apparently, she has offered them the position of Lord Imperial of the Hellfire Trading Company, and they have declined. She says that she's disappointed but not surprised by their refusal. But unfortunately, their conversation is cut short by the arrival of the Black King, Sebastian Shaw. The meeting between Shaw and Emma starts with her chastising him for having so much red in his ledger. She says that he's been flooding humanity's rich first world markets for a quick buck. And she says to consider the shipment she lost hours ago as a reminder to stay in his lanes and only serve the black market. And she further emasculates him with questions of his financial stability. She knows that he has eyes on that third seat, and she questions which current trollop that he's betting is he planning on putting in charge of the red chair. He recognizes that she made her point about the missing shipments and that he'll stay in his lane as far as delivering things to the countries in need first. But currently he's done with her games over the Red Throne, and she agrees to table the conversation for later. Next we flash to Kitty Pryde and the Marauders taking out Batroc the Leaper and his crew as they attempt to smuggle Krakoan contraband to rich affluent Americans. Batroc and his pirates are easily dispatched by our mutant marauders, and Kitty Pryde is intent on sinking the shipment. Batroc pleads that the shipment is worth tens of millions of dollars. He wants to make a deal and split the profits. Kitty is not swayed. She states that mutant money grows on trees, and sending this message to the Black King is worth any price. That a replacement shipment was sent last night to the African country in need, and that she's here to kick his master where it hurts. Right in the wallet. They sink the ship and leave Batroc and his crew stranded, waiting for the Coast Guard to pick them up. We then flash back to the meeting between the Black King and the White Queen, and he is furious. He wants compensation for the lost vessel, the lost shipment, and for Batroc, who is inconsolable over being bested by the Marauders. He says that he can understand holding him accountable, but that this is just petty, and she needs to make it right by considering his candidate for the Red Throne. She says consider it considered, but unfortunately the seat isn't vacant and she's already filled it. That prior to his return to the Hellfire Club, she extended an invitation to someone to take the red, and they accepted. We flash back to the Marauders who are in Taipei to meet Bishop. He remarks that they're late and that he was wondering if something had happened to them too. They're confused by this statement, and he lets them know that Charles Xavier has been assassinated. At first, everyone's speechless, but then Bobby speaks up and says, "Believe in the 5. They can bring him back." To which Pyro responds, "You don't know that." They end up in a tattoo shop. Bobby says that he's not going to get any ink because his body's a temple. Bishop remarks that he already has a tattoo. Storm would never. And then we flash to Pyro getting some ink on his face. We also see Kitty getting Hold Fast tattooed across her knuckles. And on her way out the door to meet Emma, Kitty steals a jacket. They walk outside and meet Gateway, who teleports them to London, and onto the deck of the Marauder, their brand new home, a super yacht with super weapons. And as Kitty makes her way to shore, we flash back to the Hellfire Trading Company's offices. Sebastian Shaw is furious. He says, "For all your talk of service, this is all just an exercise to humiliate me." And she says, "Don't take it personally, that what they're doing is more important than just lining their pockets, that he has a history of hedging his bets against mutantdom, and in the end, it's not just about security, It's about relationships. And she can't allow a third of their voting rights to be bundled up with whatever tramp or witch breed that he's sleeping with. He snaps and slams her now diamond-encrusted form against the wall. And she says the broken wall is just more red ink in his ledger, and questions whether or not collecting debt is a new secondary mutation for him. Furiously, he states that there will be no Red King, and he's interrupted by Kitty Pryde, who announces herself as the new Red Queen. I like what's going on in Marauders right now, guys, and this is kind of creeping up there as my favorite X title at the moment. I really liked X-Men, and I think that Marauders is kind of on the same level. Man, all this stuff is really, really freaking good. It was pretty easy to see after the first issue that Kitty Pryde was going to be taking the seat as the Red Queen, but it was awesome to see Emma play with Sebastian Shaw just to break the news to him in the way that would really piss him off the most. I enjoy the way that they introduced Batroc the Leaper as a pirate character working for Sebastian. That was pretty cool stuff there. I like Batroc. Good to see him jumping around looking like Wario. Kitty Pryde as a drunken pirate was pretty cool. Her getting her hold fast tattoos that showed up on the variant cover of issue number 1. That was also pretty neat. But the pyro face ink skull thing, not really feeling that creative choice. Matteo Lalli's doing a great job with the pencils in this book. Really nice, clean line work, and I like the way that all the designs from Hoxpox have kind of carried over. And he's really embodying the feelings that R.B. Silva and Pepe Larraz gave us. The costume design on the White Queen is really cool with the one feathered sleeve, although it never looks nearly as good as it does in the Russell Dauterman cover. I love the fact that Kitty's team is used to destroy Sebastian's plan, and she's also the reveal of his ultimate humiliation when she's announced as the Red Queen. The theme just flows throughout the book. Jerry Duggan has a really nice way with dialogue, and I think the conversations in this book are really well done, especially the negotiations between Batroc and Kitty Pryde, where she just knows that she's sinking the whole deal and leaving them stranded all along. Marauders number 2 gets a 4 out of 5 for me, guys. This continues the X-Men's new story arc in a must-read fashion, and man, it really is delivering. So go out and check this one out. Gang, here at the Comic Core, we are giving away a Marvel Legends 14.5-inch Hulk, absolutely free for you guys, and this is a super easy contest to enter. Should be a card popping up right there, and that's going to take you to the video where you can learn about how to enter. You can enter on this video as well. Just go ahead and hit those comments, and make sure your comment includes the hashtag ComicCoreSmash. And if you're a fan of Drew Manchu's comic book reviews, do not forget to check out my brand new project. I'm collaborating with Comics Misexplained. Yes, that's right, our friend Jason Cantu and the Cantu Manchu review crew over on the SNB network. Make sure you sub them up, hit that notification bell, because once a week we'll be dropping some content. Check it out.